Hey, it's Inigo here and welcome to my channel. So I'm making a video because Juhannuspäivä is coming this weekend, or Midsummer as you would say in English, or Midsummer weekend actually. That's coming this weekend in Finland, and it's actually a pretty big deal in Finland. Being from the UK, we don't celebrate Midsummer. We don't have any kind of special summer event. We go on holidays and take time off in the summer. But in Finland, Midsummer is a big deal. Kind of makes sense because the winters are quite brutal. So it makes sense to have a big celebration in the summer, make the most of it. So I want to kind of tell people a little bit more information about Midsummer. I've only spent one Midsummer in Finland, and that was last year. So I'll tell as much as I know. I don't know everything, but I'll try and share a little bit of information to help people learn a little bit more about Midsummer. In case you come to Finland this time of year. So Midsummer in Finland takes place at the end of June, and it's always on a Saturday. That's like the exact Midsummer day is always on a Saturday at the end of June, but it kind of happens over 2 days. So you have Midsummer Eve and then Midsummer Day, and most people will have a 4-day weekend. So it's like a public holiday. Everyone gets to have it off. Obviously, if you work in like a supermarket, you might keep working, but for most people you'll have that off. And what people typically do, there's kind of two options. So the first option is you will go to your summer cottage or mökki, and that's kind of like an interesting thing actually, and it's quite a big part of Finnish life, I would say. So most Finns, native Finns or people that have been in Finland for multiple generations, most of those people will have a summer cottage. Either they own it in their own kind of family, or their parents own it, or their extended family will have a summer cottage that people can go to in the summer. But a lot of people in Finland have a summer cottage, and instead of even going abroad in the summer or on holidays, people like to go to their summer cottages. They're really nice, like old traditional wooden buildings, and they're typically kind of out in the middle of nowhere, really peaceful and quiet. You can see nature, and typically you'll put it near water as well. So for Juhannuspäivä, from my experience, what people will do is you spend a lot of time in the sauna. So you might have a sauna kind of by your summer cottage, and you'll spend a lot of time in the sauna and swimming, and you'll kind of mix between the both. Or the two, and people basically just do that all day. The sun essentially just doesn't set. It's like nightless night, or it's like just bright all night. And even I'm in South Finland in Helsinki, it's not quite as severe here, but if you're in the north of Finland, like in Lapland, you don't have nighttime like for quite a while. Like multiple days, maybe even weeks. I should probably check before I say this, but you just don't have nighttime. And conversely, in the winter, you don't have daytime or like daylight for weeks. So it's pretty crazy. If you go to your summer cottage, you basically just spend time like with family in nature, going to the sauna, swimming in the river. And just enjoy the sunshine. And like I said, like it makes sense because the winters are so severe and the summers are so nice because the sun just doesn't set, and you can stay out as late as you want, have nice food. I think people make a traditional kind of like a strawberry cake. I'll put a picture in the corner. That's kind of like the traditional thing that you would do, and you might even decorate your summer cottage with little sort of things that you find in nature, like leaves or branches and things like that. So that's kind of what I know in terms of the more traditional summer cottage route. And then apparently what's becoming increasingly more common and popular is people spend midsummers in the cities, especially younger people. But even in the city, there are kind of two options. So there might be kind of traditional folk music and dancing that you can go and see, and that's kind of more common and popular for families or older people or very young people. Or if you're kind of maybe 20 to 50, you might go to an island where there's live music, and people listen to live music all day. And something that you'll try and kind of look for is a big bonfire, and they like these huge bonfires that people all kind of gather around, and you just essentially just watch the bonfire until it goes out, like all night. We tried to find one last year, but because it's been so hot in recent years, they've not been able to light them because of like fears of forest fires and things like that. So that's a bit of a shame. Hopefully we get to see some bonfires this year. But essentially that's what you'll do in the city. So you just go and try and find a bonfire, you hang around with your friends, again, get drunk as you probably would in the summer cottage. And yeah, just like have a really nice time. Everyone's off for a long weekend. It's a nice time. You just chill with your friends or family or whatever. I think we'll probably do that here in Helsinki. Maybe even do a mixture of the two. But that's kind of essentially what happens. And it's kind of interesting as well, kind of on top of that, I wanted to mention that kind of the holiday system in general in Finland is a bit different to what we have in the UK. So typically in Finland, when you're working, you get a winter holiday and a summer holiday, and then maybe little things like here and there. And essentially you sort of have to take your holiday within the summer period and within the winter period. Whereas in the UK, from my experience, you get like a set 24, 25 days, and you just take them whenever you want, and then you'll have bank holidays on top of that. But it's very flexible and people just take time anywhere. Whereas in Finland, it's quite common that you'll have like set times. And I suppose I don't know exactly, but it would make sense because of the weather, that you would really want to like have time off in the winter, like when you can kind of spend time with your family, and then in the summer when it's really, really nice, and kind of, yeah, like the sun doesn't set, you've got really long days, short nights, it's really nice. And you probably don't even need to go to another country. Like I said, a lot of people in Finland don't go abroad in the summer, so that's kind of something I wanted to share. Like in Finland, you'll have your set holidays, and actually they're quite long as well. So in the UK, like I said, you might have 25 set days. I know people that have like a 4-week holiday just in the summer, just 4 weeks straight, which I would say is very uncommon in England. Like you might have a week off in a row, or maybe 2 weeks, but you're never going to have more than 2 weeks off in a row. So some people I know will have like a 4-week straight holiday in the summer, which of course is really, really nice. And part of that they'll probably spend in their summer cottage as well, similar to Midsummer. But that's kind of all I really know. I would say as well that apparently traditionally the Midsummer celebration was kind of a celebration to, I think it was to celebrate the god of thunder called Ukko. And then more recently it became like a sort of a Christian, there was some kind of like Christian reasoning behind it. But essentially it's just to celebrate like the middle of summer and everyone really just to enjoy the weather and the nice time in the sun. So yeah, that's it. I'll try and put some pictures on the side, like I said, to kind of make it a bit clearer what happens. Of course, if anyone has some more information to add, or can tell their stories about what they've done on their midsummers, then obviously add that in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.